They don't see it, do they? The strength inside you, the fire. They don't know what you're capable of, what you're meant to become. They look at you, and all they see is the surface, what's visible, what's easy to judge. But there's so much more beneath. Many people are content with simple expectations, with living by what others tell them they're allowed to be. They accept limits, but you know. You know that there's something deeper, something stronger, something that others can't begin to imagine. And that's your power. Think about it. They only see the parts of you that you've shown, the glimpses of who you are. But they don't see the battles you've fought within, the dreams you carry, the determination that drives you forward. Others might think they understand, but only you truly know the force that's building inside. You were meant for more than what they can picture, more than what they expect, more than what they think you can do. When people overlook you, doubt you, it's not because you lack potential. It's because they lack vision. They can't see past their own limits, their own small ideas of what's possible. But you, your potential isn't limited by their opinions or their expectations. You were meant to break through those boundaries, to surpass every doubt, every low expectation they've placed on you. They might underestimate you. They might even count you out. But that's the fuel, the fire that will keep you going. Every doubt they have, every expectation they place, these aren't chains, they're matches. They light the spark that turns into your fire. Let them think they know what you're capable of. Let them assume they have you all figured out. They don't see the path you're on, the one that's leading you to places they could never imagine. They don't know the strength you're building, the heights you're destined to reach. This is the beginning. The moment you stop letting others define you. The moment you recognize that you were meant for more. More than their judgment, more than their limits, more than they could ever imagine. True strength isn't found in the applause of others or in their approval. It's found within. It's the part of you that stands strong even when no one's watching. The part that keeps going when everything around you says to stop. Most people spend their lives seeking validation, chasing approval, waiting for someone else to tell them they're enough. But the truth? Real power comes when you stop looking outside and start looking within. You have a strength that's deeper than anyone else could measure, a strength that doesn't rely on others to survive. Take a moment and think. When was the last time you really listened to your own voice? Not the voices of the people around you, not the opinions that try to shape you, but your own voice. That voice knows who you are. It knows what you're capable of. That voice doesn't need anyone else's permission to believe in your potential. This journey isn't about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about knowing that you don't need anyone to tell you you're capable, that you're worthy, that you have what it takes. All that matters is that you see it, that you recognize it, and that you believe it. Because once you recognize that power inside, the opinions of others start to fade. The limits they place on you don't hold you back. Their expectations don't define you. You begin to see that the only person who can measure your potential, who can set the bar for what you're capable of, is you. This is where it starts, with self-awareness, with confidence that doesn't rely on approval, and with the realization that your strength has been within you all along. It's time to trust it, to let that inner power lead you forward. Because when you embrace your inner strength, you step into a power that no one else can give you, and that no one else can take away. There was a time when I tried to fit into the mold others created for me. I followed their rules, met their expectations, and tried to live up to their standards. They told me who I was supposed to be, how I should act, what I should pursue. And for a while, I believed them. I let myself be shaped by their opinions, their limits. But inside, I knew I was meant for more than their narrow view of who I could be. I remember moments when they'd say, "Stay in your lane, don't aim too high." They made it sound like success and greatness belonged to others, like I didn't have the right to dream beyond the boundaries they set. But that didn't sit right with me. It was like trying to squeeze into a space that was too small, trying to be something I wasn't meant to be. Every time I tried to fit into their mold, I felt a piece of myself slipping away. And then it hit me. I wasn't meant to live by their limits. I wasn't meant to be confined to a role they chose for me. I was here to break through those walls, to show myself that I didn't need their permission to live on my own terms. I knew that staying inside their box meant giving up my potential, my power, and I refused to let that happen. Breaking free wasn't easy. I faced doubts, resistance, and sometimes outright disbelief. They called it a mistake. I called it growth. They saw it as reckless. I saw it as the only way forward. I had to remind myself daily that I didn't need their validation, that their expectations were just words, not my reality. Think about it. When people tell you to play it safe, to stay small, it's not because they know your limits. It's because they know theirs. They're afraid of what they can't see, of the potential that exists beyond their understanding. But their limits aren't yours. Their narrow vision doesn't define you. If I had stayed in their mold, I would have lost myself. I would have let them decide my worth, my limits, my future. But stepping outside of that, breaking free, that's where I found my power. That's where I realized I didn't need anyone to tell me what I was capable of. So, don't let anyone place limits on who you are. Break the mold, shatter their expectations, and step into the power you know is yours. Because your potential isn't defined by others. It's defined by the strength you're willing to uncover within. Doubt. It's something we've all faced. Those quiet, lingering words from others questioning if we're capable, if we're ready, if we have what it takes. I remember times when doubt surrounded me, filling the air like a weight. People would look at me, their eyes saying, "Are you sure you're ready for this? Isn't this too much for you?" They'd cast shadows on my path, leaving traces of their doubt in my mind. But I didn't let it stop me. I turned that doubt into fuel. Each time someone doubted me, it was like adding another log to the fire inside. I used their words, their disbelief, as motivation to push harder, to go further. I remember one specific moment. It was a challenge I was determined to conquer, but almost everyone around me thought I'd fail. They told me I was aiming too high, that my ambition would backfire. Those doubts became my drive. I could have let them discourage me, but instead, I chose to use them as proof that I was on the right path. Doubt can be like a weight, something that tries to hold you down. But when you take that weight and turn it into resistance, it becomes your strength. Each doubt, each judgment, each skeptical word, these are just opportunities to rise higher, to push further, to prove that you are more than they think. I didn't need anyone's approval, and neither do you. If anything, Every doubtful glance, every skeptical comment only pushed me harder. Each time they told me I couldn't, I showed them I could. Every time they underestimated me, I went beyond what they thought possible. I realized that doubt wasn't a reflection of my potential. It was a reflection of their limited view. They doubted because they couldn't see the vision, the determination that I had. They doubted because my goals went beyond what they could imagine. If others doubt you, let it fuel you. Let their disbelief become the spark that drives you forward. Every doubt is an invitation to rise above, to defy their expectations, to reach heights they said were out of reach. Use their doubt, their limitations, as a reason to keep pushing, to keep climbing. This is your journey, and only you know the strength you hold inside. Turn their doubt into your drive, and watch as you prove not only to them, but, more importantly, to yourself, that you are capable of far more than they can imagine. Every doubt, every limit, every low expectation, they were never meant to define you. They were simply hurdles, challenges that helped shape the strength you hold today. You were meant to be more than what others can see, more than what they can imagine. This journey isn't about proving them wrong. It's about proving to yourself that you are unstoppable, unbreakable, and limitless. Think of all the moments when people tried to place boundaries around you, to confine you to their view of what's possible. But your potential was never meant to fit into their small view. You were always destined to go further, to reach beyond. You've broken through their limits, faced their doubts, and turned every skeptical look into fuel. And now, you're stronger, more focused, more determined than ever. As you keep moving forward, remember that the only opinion that truly matters is your own. The world may doubt, judge, or misunderstand. Let them. Your journey is yours alone, and no one else can see the heights you are capable of reaching. Each step you take, each challenge you overcome, is proof of your resilience, proof of your strength, proof that you are more than they could ever imagine. Life will continue to test you, but you already know how to use those tests as fuel. Let their limits inspire you to break boundaries. Let their doubts ignite a fire within. And let their expectations remind you that your power isn't defined by others. It's defined by your vision, your passion, your belief in yourself. So, go out there and live up to the potential only you can see. Embrace every part of the journey, the highs and the lows, the challenges and the victories. Let them all remind you that you're not here to be ordinary. You're here to be more than they ever thought possible. When they look at you, they may only see what's on the surface. But you know the truth. You were meant to be more, to do more, to become more than they could ever imagine. And with every step forward, you're proving to yourself that nothing, not doubt, not limits, not anyone's opinion, can hold you back from reaching your greatest potential.